Shall we start, sir?
Yes.
It's up to you. Yep.
Send money today using Remitly and get a rate of
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Sachin Sharke, and I welcome you all on behalf of Computer Society of India Nasik chapter for today's webinar, which is on career opportunity in data science. We conduct this monthly knowledge sharing session to spread knowledge across the globe, and for that, many subject matter experts help us to achieve it. I request Mr. Manoj Pandya sir to introduce our today's speaker.
Good morning, everybody. Nasik, Chandwad, wherever you are or in the world. Good morning to everybody, and thank you for joining this very enlightening webinar. I assure you, the today's speaker is Kedar Mahadeshwar. He's a very dynamic young man. He's my younger brother. Uh, he's a Mumbaikar. That tells everything. He's a VJTI engineering. He has done VJTI, and VJTI was, and he's a prime institute. I don't have to say much. He did his master's in industrial management from NIT Powai. That's another very esteemed organization in India. And then he came to US, worked on various assignments. And while he was in IBM, he was in IBM for more than 20 years, from consulting to partner, and become a very senior management person there. And while he had a lot of assignments and clients, IBM encouraged him to join Wharton School of Management, the UPenn, the world-renowned institute. We all know about that. And he was 2 years. I saw the way he was working there, studying, and it takes a lot. I know these institutes, prime institutes, needs lots and lots. And he was managing the business plus doing his MBA at Wharton. So academically is very sound. But most important is the way he has framed his career throughout. And I've seen for last 20 years, I've been seeing him, the way he has grown up his chart. And so proud being Mumbaikar, being from Maharashtra, being from our Marathi man. And he's, like I said, he's my younger brother. Was 20 years working at IBM. And then now he joined into a very dynamic position as vice president in one of the, it's a multi-dimensional company where he's a vice president. And you can imagine that company is into the healthcare products. He has complete IT background plus business background plus developing the commercial business in generic specialty drugs, delivering supply chain in e-commerce. And believe me, right now to get him, it was the most challenging because he has been managing the vaccine distribution for US and for the European countries. His company is doing that. So to get him there in this time was very critical, but he agreed. And within the span of 5 days, I asked Kedar, can you join and do this? Because this is the commitment I had with my sir and with the CSI. I don't know how many of you know, in 1983 with Karode sir, I was the pioneer CSI member of Nasik chapter. And it was just 10 or 15 of us we started, and today it is 10,000, which is, Mahesh told me the other day, and which was mind-boggling to me that, oh my God, this has gone up so big. So this was a commitment to CSI, and Kedar agreed to do that. And I have no doubt you are going to be thrilled with the knowledge of Kedar. The most important thing about Kedar is he's a mentor. He helps the high school students to how to get through the SATs and SCTs and those competitive exams. In spite of his very busy schedule, he goes and teach them, mentors them. And that quality is so unique. And we have used Kedar so many times to train or as a model for for our kids, for community here in. By the way, we live in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is a huge community, beautiful community here. It's just like an industrial research town, and Kedar helps us out in community as well. So he's professionally uh, very engaged, community-wise very engaged, down to the earth, and you will see how low he can get into for talking to, though he works all the time with the C-level executives, but he comes down so fast at whatever level he's talking. So I'm pretty sure you will have a great time with him. Mahesh wanted me to do this session. I'm in IT for 40 years, but this is an evolving field. Everyone is a product these days with cell phone in pocket, artificial intelligence, IoT. So much data gets generated, and it needs science, it needs technique, it needs art to model that data so that it can be used very effectively for decision making. And Kedar is the one who has been doing this. His experience is so unique. He has worked across it. By the way, he has, while he was in IBM, I know he used to travel worldwide. Monday will be in Calcutta. Uh, Thursday will be in Brazil with the customer. So he has so much diverse experience in this field with C-level executives. So he will bring a different perspective in this field. And therefore, I said, Mahesh sir, that no, I cannot do it. I have a very authoritative, experienced person who can do this very nicely for all of us, and we all can learn. He's like I said, he's a Mumbaikar, loves cricket. Just let me conclude one incident of him. When Sachin Tendulkar played his last test against West Indies on Wankhede, 2 days back before, I and Kedar were chatting, and you will not believe, in 2 days, last minute, he caught the flight and ensured that he is watching the Sachin's last inning. That avid cricketer, cricket premi he is. I don't have to say being Mumbaikar, Parlekar, uh, it's absolutely given. It's a character, but a great man. So Kedar, have it. It's all yours. And thank you so much for accepting this invitation last minute. I know you're very busy, but thanks again, man. It's all you.
No, thank you so much, Manoj and Mahesh. And I see a lot of people on the Zoom links, all the volunteers. This is as much as a great value adding and learning opportunity for me, as hopefully as it is for some of you who are attending this as well. So thank you for all the overwhelming comments. I am not sure whether I deserve this kind of introduction, but I think I'll, in the spirit of sharing the knowledge, I'm more than excited to be a part of this group. First of all, congratulations to CSI Nashik chapter, moving it from 1 or 2 members to thousands of members over last almost 40 years now. Is an amazing milestone. So congratulations to all of you. And I'm glad that I can have at least a small part from my side to share as much as I can. And I request all of you to treat this as an ongoing journey, so that tomorrow one of you can actually teach me more about data science or any field which is related to this. So what we'll do is, as I hope you all can see the slides, and currently the topic is career opportunities in data science. So what we'll do is we'll try to, I really don't know the entire audience, so I hope I'm doing justice to everyone. But we'll try to keep more time for interaction and more time for question answers, if that helps. The whole objective is to serve you, because you are getting up and prioritizing this to attend this session at 9 o'clock on your Saturday morning. So please feel free to comment, ask any question, either in the session or after the session, and try to help CSI Nashik chapter to grow into their objective and help the community. So with that, we'll try to get to the next slide. And I hope you can, I hope my screen has first of all changed to the next slide. So let me see if you guys can see my second slide, and the title should be, do you see data? Is that still visible on the YouTube link as well? Or is it
It's
visible only on the Zoom?
it's not coming on YouTube link. As
Okay,
I'm on
sometimes it
it.
takes time on the
I
YouTube
think
link.
so. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so let me give me
But
a
it's there
second.
on Zoom. It's on Zoom, but it's still not on YouTube. I think.
Okay. Let,
Shirke sir, you're aligning, right? Zoom and because there are a lot of people on Zoom on YouTube, and we want that the slides are changed there too.
I,
Mahesh, Shirke sir, Sachin sir, can you ensure that the slides are changed on Zoom?
YouTube. So YouTube is going on, sir.
okay, good, good. So if you guys can see, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So again, once again, good morning. What do you guys see on this screen? And if you can, please chat on the chat window or on the YouTube chat window, and tell me, what do you see here? Do you see data? This is obviously, I hope I've chosen the right picture. We are in Nashik, so I want to feel that I'm in Nashik. This is my opportunity to visit Nashik now. So this is Kumbh Mela, and let's look at a picture and tell me, what do you see in the picture? Okay, so I'll give you a couple of minutes to put it in the chat. uh, and as you see, and hopefully now the screens are going to move to the next slide. It might take little bit of lag on the YouTube, so we apologize for that. But if you see the picture, you see so many of devotees who are coming to Kumbh Mela, and that one picture is worth thousands or millions of data points. So on the next slide, what you see here is, it depends on the lens that you use to see the same picture, the same crowd that visits Kumbh Mela. Think about a travel company. If you are someone who is managing a travel company, or you are someone who is a marketing executive in a travel company, you will see tremendous opportunity in that Kumbh Mela picture. On the other hand, if you are a pharmaceutical company or a cosmetics company, or you are a health department associate, or you are a security department in charge of arranging all the security for Kumbh Mela, the same incidents or same transaction or same moment completely changes the meaning of what you see and interpret the picture. So I think if you guys can try to visualize anything that comes to your mind with lot of data points, or a lot of human beings or creatures, living, non-living things, you'll see that is at the core, what we see. And in Sanskrit or in Marathi, the right word is kan. So you actually go to the molecular level or atomic level, and you find that everything is made up of some data elements. Now the reality is, over last almost 40 to 50 years, on one hand, mathematics has made a lot of improvement, in the sense to understand the statistical part of it, right? The overall prediction, probability, and the advanced statistics part of it has been now in use over the last 50 years, mainly because of the progress in computer science, computer technology. And because of that, over the period, all these forces kind of combined, and we it requires computational power, it requires storage, it requires replication power, and that allows us to now think through, how do I use this data? I'm purposely not using the words like data science or analytics and this and that. I don't want anyone to get scared or overwhelmed by the words like scientist. It's little, sometimes it's like a marketing gimmick to use a word like scientist or data science. So we'll get into that, what exactly it means, but I wanted to first put a picture to talk about what does it really mean, in terms of data analysis of any picture, any moment, any event, for that matter. Okay. Now, on the next slide, I'm now switching to another very important element in this topic, which is pattern recognition. And again, I'm not able to see the screen on the YouTube, so I'm just confirming that slowly you'll see a slide called "Do you see a pattern?"
Yeah, it's
Okay.
there on YouTube now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So if you see the pattern, what I want you to see there is especially uh, on the left hand side, some of you might have solved some of these puzzles in aptitude test when you were in either fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, or even in the college entrance exam, and sometimes even for the jobs when you get into that. So if you look at how to complete the pattern, a human brain starts recognizing it. Okay, I have a basketball, then soccer ball, basketball, soccer ball, basketball. What's the next? Soccer ball, right? So moon, moon, sun, moon, moon. You would think that it should be sun, but you're not 100% sure. That's the last example on the pattern recognition. That is the same concept that is used for taking data science and applying machine learning or artificial intelligence to actual industry to solve the biggest problems in day-to-day life. The middle picture is I don't know if you recognized it, but hopefully in the picture it says, and people who might have got a chance to visit Google California, they might have seen it live in person. That's the Google's driverless car. Google driverless car also uses the similar algorithms that probably were discovered in 1978 to 1981 timeframe. The same algorithms that you and I can literally use it free of charge from internet to build an application. I personally have used some of the algorithms for some applications that my team has created. The point is, again, initial first two slides we talked about how to interpret data and how to use it, or what to interpret and what to use it for. Now what we are slowly getting into is how to recognize a pattern and teach it to a machine. If a car is driving without a driver, you need to analyze all your surroundings and have the pattern recognition in your own memory or the car engine's memory or car's software memory to decide when to take left turn, right turn, when to go and give side to the next one. And this is a tremendous project that humankind is doing. And Google is not the only company. There are many companies who are working on it. But this is a classic example where the same skill that we use to recognize pattern in third grade or fourth grade middle school scholarship exam and all that is same thing thinking is used for driving or coming up with a driverless Google car. On the rightmost side, what you see here is again, I wish this would have been more interactive. It would have been fun, or if I would have been in Nashik to talk about it. This is our DRS, right? And as Manoj was saying, Manoj himself is a great cricket fan and himself is a good player. I personally really enjoy cricket a lot, so I couldn't help without taking this example of how do we use data science and machine learning in DRS. And we all talk about whether it is the right decision, the wrong decision, this should have been out, this should not have been out. That's a separate part. So let's keep the cricket part little outside for a moment, and let's focus on how do we teach the computer and machine to predict the elliptical curve or whatever the trajectory we get for a specific ball that is delivered. There are so many opportunities to even improve further on the DRS technology, by the way. So I'm not going to get into the details of that. And I'm sure a lot of people are probably writing white papers on that itself. But these three examples hopefully give you that where is this being used for. Now, I want to make sure that this is not just for fun or sports or leisure. It is used, similar techniques are used for literally life saving processes and inventions as we speak. And one of them is what we all are currently going through. And this is something that is actually used by, even in my profession, we take the data from this particular application. And on the next slide, you will see application using data science and machine learning. This is, by the way, a picture snapshot taken from this website just about couple of hours ago when I made these slides. So this is by a college called or university called John Hopkins University, and this is a very important dashboard that we use in our work, literally on a day-to-day basis, to look at COVID-19 dashboard, and they literally track the entire world. So whether it is in India, and then you double click, go to Maharashtra, double click, go to Nashik, go to US, you go any nth level of detail to analyze the data. But analyzing data is only one step. We also see here how the trends of locating or predicting where is the next outburst, and that helps many ways, right? I mean, that helps doctors and health professionals for sure. But take my own example. So in the US, we are responsible for distributing COVID-19 therapies, so drugs that are required for recovering from COVID-19. So we design applications where we get, and the reason I'm taking this data is not to talk about our application or company, because this is an independent speaking assignment and I'm representing my own views and not my company views. But the reason I'm taking this example is to tell you how data science or machine learning is being used today in life saving engagements and processes. So in this specific case, what I or my team does is we take this data, this is an external data to my enterprise. We take this data and then we analyze, okay, so if we are responsible for distribution of the drug therapies within the United States, which state or which city that we should be shipping a particular drug, in what quantity and when. And then we get instructions from our government, and then it's a combination of taking all these data sources and then use our own way of allocating all the distribution of the drugs. And then that has multiple systems behind it. We use ERP packages like SAP, we use warehousing transportation packages like Manhattan Associates. We use multiple applications to actually get the drug to the right patient in the hospital, in the city where they are. And then we have other things like weather patterns. So last couple of weeks ago in the US, in Texas, we had huge storms. So two of our distribution centers, which are the main distribution centers, were completely unreachable, and we had to still get the drugs to the patients and hospitals in right time. And they are, now I'm talking about not COVID drugs, now I'm talking in general, some specialty drugs and drugs that are required for critical patients. So the point is, you saw examples right from a Google driverless car, you saw examples of cricket DRS technology, and now you see an example of a healthcare industry. Everywhere what you see is we are using the information that can be archived or derived from these data elements, and then apply some kind of pattern recognition. I'm not using the word machine learning right now. Some kind of pattern recognition, and then either predict or prescribe. Predict or prescribe what is the next step. Where should I send the drugs? Where should I take the turn? Should I take left turn or right turn? Should I give it as out or should I give it as not out? Anything and everything that comes to your mind that has a potential to analyze the historical data and take an action or make a decision is a great use case for applying technologies like data science and machine learning. So now I think, just to do justice to our time, I like it or not, I'll go slightly into technical details. But again, I was told that this should be ideally a session more generic from career standpoint of view. So what I thought was, on one slide, I'll give a summary of all possible roles that I can think of, and I took this particular information I've taken from a research firm called Gartner. So analytics, data, and support. I purposely divided this into three categories because sometimes people get confused between data science and machine learning. People get confused in data analytics and data science. People get confused between data chief data officer versus data and analytics officer. Some to some extent it's all semantics, but at the same time I thought that if there are students or early career professionals who are interested in understanding career opportunities in data science, I thought it is probably the right thing to do to talk about different roles you can imagine that are coming up in the market and in the industry. Analytics has analytics or BI developer, business intelligence developer on the left hand side, data scientist or machine learning or artificial intelligence developer. And I'll talk about these three, and the fourth one is data engineer, little bit in detail in the next couple of slides. But there are so many of them. So master data management, information archive, project management, change management, business analyst. So it's not that everybody has to be A plus plus expert in probability and statistics to get into data science. That's not true. It is important that you have to have the passion to analyze the data. You should be very comfortable to make your hands dirty to get into the data, analyze it, and then apply to whichever problem you want to solve. And then, honestly, I would strongly recommend to focus on the industry that you are working in. When I say industry, I'm talking about are you interested in working in cosmetics industry? So whether it is Procter and Gamble or Unilever or any of the Indian cosmetics industry or consumer products like Nirma or Britannia, any of the cosmetics or consumer product companies, or is your career more into pharmaceutical line and healthcare, or is your career more into automotive? Like I started my career in Tata's. My first job was in Jamshedpur for Tata Motors. So I'm very passionate about automotive industry. So the good news is there are some professions that come and go. I think I can confidently say that there are some professions, like for example doctors and medicine professionals. In IT, within IT, programming languages will come and go, but a profession like data scientist or data engineer or analysis of data, people who will do analysis of data, I don't think that profession will ever go away now. The nature of the work might change, but someone who wants to do, like for example information security is another profession that will last for long time. Data profession is going to last for a long time. In fact, I would say that even if you are doing bachelor of science in biology or chemistry, I will be surprised that you can graduate as a really good biologist if you are not a good data scientist. So data science is not just for IT. It's not just for computer science engineers. It's almost for every individual. Even if you want to study economics, you need to be a good data scientist. If you want to study any sciences or humanities or liberal arts, you still need to be a strong advocate and user of data, and you need to support and your particular hypothesis or argument for that matter by using lot of data techniques for that. Okay, so probably just because I think we are in a mode where I am presenting and you all are listening, feel free to stop me and ask questions anytime for that matter. That in fact I would prefer that. But if not, I'll finish the slides and then we'll take a pause to see if there are any questions. So on this slide, it's a very rich slide. This slide itself we can talk for a couple of hours on this slide. But I'll probably try to now move on to the next one. And the next slide is basically now next two slides. I'm going to go a little deeper into four of the roles that we just talked about. So we talked about data scientist. So data scientist is someone who's responsible for modeling complex business problems and discovering business insights using quantitative disciplines. So this is where I would imagine someone who is really, really interested in mathematics or science is going to do wonders in this particular field. That person, he or she, will enjoy actually being in the details of data science. And there are some really good platforms. One of them is called Kaggle, Kaggle. Kaggle is a website where you can actually practice lot of skills in data science. Uh, I'm sure even in India it might be the same case. In the US, I think this Kaggle is probably the premium platform used by college students to prepare for interviews for all the leading companies which are recruiting in data science. So I would strongly recommend, if you are interested to become a solid data scientist, you should definitely consider going to the website called Kaggle, Kaggle, and try to use that to practice your skills before you go for any interviews for any company. The second role that I thought I'll talk about, because so that people can get clarification what is data science versus what is machine learning developer. So AI or machine learning developers are more responsible for using the AI machine learning techniques. There are a lot of machine learning techniques which are freely available on the internet. Most of the companies, including all large companies, including Google, including our company, including all the companies, we use the established AI machine learning algorithms which are available in the market. Most of the good languages like Python, for example, Python, by the way, is another language that I would strongly recommend, whether you want to be a data scientist or not. I think, I mean, if you can, even if you know some basics of that, that's more than enough. You should try to invest some time to learn the language Python, Python. Some people want to do career in software engineering. Still, you can use Python for doing a lot of software development. Some people do not want to get into software engineering, but still want to do data scientist, machine learning kind of jobs. You still can do it using Python. So Python is one of the unique examples where the language allows you to do multiple things across software engineering as well as data science space. Uh, I I'll be more than happy to get into the details, but there are techniques in AI for NLP, what we call it NLP, natural language processing. So imagine when you do any search, so Google search is one of the classic search that we talked about, but any search for that matter, for any website, you go for any website and search something. You go on your bank bank website or Hong Kong Bank, for example, and you go and search something on that website. It uses the search engine behind the scenes, and then some of them use natural language processing, some of them do not use natural language processing. Now again, remember that this data that we are talking about doesn't have to be a data in terms of numbers and alphabets. It can be patterns recognition. We saw on the first example, it's all visual images. So Google driverless car, like it just looks at the whole world around you. So it looks at a tree, it looks at a cow on the street, it looks at a cat, and it has to recognize. This is the same technology that was used by US Army initially, and that was then eventually taken here. Uh, Machine learning we talked about. So machine learning, if you are interested and you have the keen interest to be a developer on AI or machine learning, then definitely that will open a lot of doors if you have that kind of aptitude. At the same time, the next slide, analytics developer and data engineer, these are the slides where it's different. It is not about machine learning or AI. It is about analytics developer is more for developing analytics and reporting. So for example, the screen that we saw for COVID-19 dashboard, it's a combination of everything. We are using a lot of analytics there, what lot of PI, Power BI dashboard. We are also looking at many applications that are written using libraries found in Python, and we are then combining it, and then that data is used by again another analytical developer to create dashboards for users to leverage to get the key insights into business opportunities. And the last one example I've taken here is the data engineering. So data engineering is the practice of making appropriate data accessible and available to various data consumers. It can be for business users, it can be for data scientists, but data engineers are typically, their focus is they don't get um, overwhelmed by getting into a lot of data, rows, columns, and understanding the pattern, what it is, and then they make it available for other consumers to use it. Now, I really don't know how much you are familiar with all these roles. So some of you might find this as very basic. Some of you might find it that, okay, this sounds little confusing to me. This is little advanced. So I apologize upfront for that. But I thought that this probably is good enough level that it is not too high level and not too deep to leave it here. At the end of the day, what I would say is try to take it with complete open arms. If you want to get into this field, there are many ways to get into it. There are many good courses online, and obviously in person as well. I'm sure even in India there are great engineering schools or data science schools or statistics schools that must be offering. So there are many ways to do that. Either you can get into a company and get into that, or you can actually get into some master's level course or a certification course and then get into that. But I think it is important to understand the key messages. The key messages are, uh, first of all, don't get scared by the word scientist here. Data science is a term that is used for what we just saw. The second message was that we all use pattern recognition in our day-to-day life, and the application is like limitless. We saw Google driverless car example. We saw cricket DRS. We saw COVID-19 related health distribution company or dashboard given by John Hopkins. We saw where we started was a Kumbh Mela picture where there are so much of data, and then it depends whether you are in travel industry or cosmetics or healthcare, how you want to interpret and how you want to use it. And imagine that once you spend your time like this for 5 to 10 years, once you become a seasoned player to massage and use data and solve a problem for a customer or business, then depending on your skill level, personality, opportunities that it present, you can either pursue the path in business or on technology, or just become an expert in data and you just offer that services to multiple things. The last and not the least is always try to be in the industry that you are more interested in, and then don't worry too much about am I a data engineer or a data science. That I think will happen eventually. Try to focus on what industry excites you. Do I want to study more of cosmetics or automotives or pharmaceuticals? Because almost all these good companies are going to require this today or tomorrow. So it's better to be and develop the industry depth, and then start using these skills as much as possible. So I think we are now for about 20 minutes away from what we planned as the end time. And I think some of the organizers had mentioned to me that we try to keep 20 minutes for question answers. So I'm going to take a pause and open for any question answers or comments as friends. And please feel free to be in touch with me either now or later. And I will either try to answer the questions right away. And if I don't know, then I'll note down the questions and I'll come back to you with the answers. Okay. So that's it from my side. If there are any comments or questions, we can talk about it.
Sir, can you focus on some, say, data science tools or maybe BI tools that are in the market?
Sure, sure. So data science tools and BI tools are two totally different things, but I'll try to talk about both. So there are a lot of software companies and tools that are in the market which are leading right now. And before I get into the names and all that, I just want to confirm, or I want to make sure that I again say this here, that I'm not advocating any one over other. Uh, and the other thing I would say is, when you look at any tool, so for example, companies like IBM or Google, Google Analytics, or there are Microsoft analytics tools that are available. Uh, there are some statistical companies, like for example, SAS Institute is there, or there are some companies which are actually having their own proprietary data science and Power BI or overall dashboarding tools. I would just categorize them into three parts. First one are the tools which are just for front end, like just for viewing the data, and which are really good for user interaction. They are less about, by themselves, they don't get into actually tracking any trend or predicting any trend like that. The second category are the tools which are actually doing the analysis themselves. And the way I said, IBM tools, Microsoft, Google Analytics, or SAS. And they are the tools that, again, doesn't have to be predicting, just but they are the tools which are analyzing the data, and they are available at a cost, and they're typically for enterprise customers. And the third category is, there are tools which are freely available, and used by, literally, I mean, I don't even probably know how many, like 400 to 500 tools are available in the market, free of charge. You can just literally Google it and start using them. Last comment on that is, most of these tools now, when we choose the tool, what we look at is its ability to handle complexity of data in terms of scalability. And the second factor that I personally always look for is its adaptability to new infrastructure cloud platform. There are some, like for example, Microsoft, or for example, Google. Their analytics tools are very conveniently and smoothly transitioning to cloud technology, and you that gives you tremendous benefit in terms of its usage, in terms of cost and speed. So when it comes to any enterprise level, for example, the we are talking about COVID-19 distribution, and if I have to come up with uh, a tool that actually integrates with inventory data of every hospital real time to my data, then it's better to be ideally on analytics tool which is cloud enabled, so I can actually spin off more and more applications faster and analyze it, and then use it for backend processing and all that. Any other comment or question?
I have one question. Can I ask you, sir?
Sure, sure.
Yeah. So actually, I'm happy to inform you that our University of Pune and even many of the universities have started the course like artificial intelligence and data sciences from UG, that is undergraduate itself. So earlier these were specialization which were actually included in master program, and now it is included in artificial intelligence and data sciences. And many of the participants are actually attending this session, and they are a bit confused, like when to choose information technology as a branch, or whether to take computer engineering as a branch, or whether to take artificial intelligence and data science as a branch, because more or less the syllabus is looking like same.
Very
So
similar.
what will be your own opinion, like what will be the
That's a
career
very,
for? Yeah, yeah,
very,
yeah.
very good question. And in believe it or not, I spoke to some student today evening about this topic in the US. Uh, so first of all, I feel so good that India is always ahead in terms of like having the right courses and syllabus for our academic institutes. Academics is integral part of our life there as a value system. So I'm not surprised. And University of Pune and all these engineering colleges are so well known all over the world. So honestly, my first answer is, you won't go wrong whether you do information technology or artificial intelligence, machine learning. You can't go wrong. It's impossible. My advice is, try to look at it little bit from a broader angle, and don't try to narrow it down too much in the earlier part of your career. So almost look at it as kind of a triangle, and you're at the bottom of the pyramid and you're going up in your life and in your career, don't try to take a shortcut and go directly to a narrowed down career path just because it is hot. Because first of all, you don't know whether you will be really enjoying that and you'll be really good at it or not. On the other hand, you don't want to close the doors for other options in the beginning of your career. So my advice is, first of all, the two fields that you talked about are very similar. So I will be surprised if the syllabus is too different. And you already mentioned that they are very overlapping syllabus. At
Exactly.
high level, let me tell you that if you are purely interested in becoming a good programmer or software engineer, you should become a computer science engineer or information technology engineer, because then you can always still learn Python kind of language and apply that to AI or machine learning. Absolutely, it is possible. Second statement is, if you are more into applied mathematics or statistics kind of brain, and liking, then you should try to be more founded into statistics and advanced statistics than just learning AI and machine learning concepts. Because AI and machine learning to me is an application of the same science which is hidden in the statistics and advanced statistics. And that, by the way, if you go even one level below, the roots are in calculus. So whether you are studying, I mean, I don't know the syllabus, so I can't tell you right away. But just by listening to you, my request would be to try to follow the path of be as broad as possible initial part of the career. So definitely in the undergrad, so that after undergrad, from your job perspective or from post graduation perspective, then you can go into some narrow down. Don't try to think that, oh, because I have an AI ML degree, some company is going to pick me because I have that on my certificate. That's not going to happen. That's not how it works. So try to be as broad as possible and then go narrow, rather than starting narrow and then going upward with broad. That doesn't work. So that would be my first reaction, at least, to your question. But great question. And
Thanks.
I'm laughing because this is the second time I'm talking the same day on the same topic.
Right, sir. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your like valuable guidance in this, because many of the students are getting confused, and I do agree with you that the student always start with the broader perspective, and then in maybe while their masters or maybe while their PhD, they should think about the very specific domains like data science or maybe artificial intelligence. Thanks a lot, sir. Thank you.
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely. Treat this as an opportunity for getting some hard skills in the earlier part of your career. And when I say hard skills, I'm not talking about hard and easy. I'm talking about hard and soft skills. So hard skills are more subject matter expertise. So it can be how to use a tool or how to use Python, how to use data sets. So Kaggle, the platform that I talked about, has multiple data sets that they actually provide you. So make your hands dirty as much as possible in the beginning part of your career and get used to that. Literally, like, try to solve some puzzles, like 5 puzzles, 10 puzzles every day by using a particular language or by using a particular tool. There is no shortcut. That's what you need over the period, and then you'll be fine. You'll get the right direction automatically. Any
Hello,
other?
sir.
Yeah.
We have got one question from Manashri. Uh, Her question is that what should be the roadmap for fresher to become, data scientist?
And is it a fresher for any stream? Is that the question? Like, any specific undergrad, or why don't I
Yeah.
answer it as a generic for now? So if you are a fresher, again, a great question. If you are a fresher, uh, I would first again assess yourself that what kind of hard skill, the one that I was talking about, you already got. For example, Python is a language, or for example, any particular analytics skill that you have. If you want to get into data analytics, by the way, that's the assumption. If you want to get into that, you need to have some hard skill to get the first entry into some type of job. So if you didn't get that hard skill in your undergrad, then definitely you need to look for some kind of course or something to get that particular technical skill to get into some job. Once you get into a job, I would prefer if you work for at least 2 years as a fresh graduate to get some experience in any shape or form in any of the jobs that we talked about. It can be just making the data ready, data shaping, data engineering, developing, developing dashboards, front end, back end. It can be any of that, doesn't matter. It's more important to be around that environment, because just even if you are doing your job, you will see all around you what's happening for about couple of years. And then after that, if possible and if personally you have bandwidth and you can afford to do some kind of full time post graduation in, again, kind of analytics uh, domain, I would recommend that after a couple of years, you have enough knowledge now to go back to school and then go for full time studies, ideally, if you can afford to. If you cannot afford to do that, then you can always do some part time studies and all that. But if you can afford to, you should definitely try to do some kind of post graduation after a couple of years of experience. Is it required? No. But if you do it, then at that point of time, you will have good orientation of how to apply and where to apply your skills. Your resume also becomes little more valuable for employers, prospective employers, to hire you and put you in front of customers. So I think that's one safe and clean way of starting your career. So I would say that after undergrad, as a fresher, treat another 4 years of almost like an education. First 2 years in some company, and another 1.5 to 2 years for a master's. So almost like a doctor, that you become MBBS and then you actually do MD again, right? So treat it as you need another 3 to 4 years of education. But I would not recommend to jump into something like a very generic soft leadership skill or MBA or something immediately, especially if you're interested into doing career in data analytics, because this is a career where all those skills are important and required, but they are not as important as your technical skills and hard skills. So um, I would recommend not to jump into something like MBA or something right away, even if it sounds like it's related to data analytics, and try to focus more on the technical side for first 4 years of your career minimum, and then you can think of something different than that.
Thank you, sir.
Sure.
And sir, being a commerce or the management, professional or the student, what can be the career opportunity for those streams?
So another excellent question. So being, first of all, as you saw on all the slides and all that, it doesn't matter whether you're a real BTech or B engineer, or you're science or commerce graduate. It does not matter. What matters is, do you have the skills, hard skills, to analyze and see the pattern. Now I'm trying to see the slide that we, okay, so here, so you can, if you have the hard skill, then you can absolutely get into the technical side. On the other hand, you still, at the end of the day, any of these industries, depending on if you said management, so if you are a project manager or you are a overall leader, you need all those skills. You need even salespeople for doing that, right? Someone might be really good into sales or commercial skills. uh, you like Microsoft needs people to sell their analytics tools in the market, right? So you need to still have the initial background of what it means, and then get into sales or commercial. Or you can be someone who is managing. I think what is important is, if you're not hardcore technical person, the other skill that will really help you is, especially if you are commerce or management or a business kind of person, is try to be the liaison or the middleman between the business users and these data scientists. Someone who can be classified as more like a business analyst in the traditional form, or someone who can articulate the requirements to the data scientist, or actually take it back. It's little different than a typical software industry in data analytics to become a business analyst if you are not technical. But there's no rule. First of all, the good news is you don't have to be a science or engineering graduate to get into this. You just need to have puzzle solving skills, and you should not get impatient if you can't solve that first time. Just keep solving the puzzles again and again and again. So that's very important. Going back to our elementary school pattern recognition example that I talked about, along with Google and DRS. We
Thank you
still
so
have
much.
3-4 minutes. Any other
Yes, sir.
one
There was one
question?
question from YouTube. Can I ask you?
Oh, sure, sure.
Yeah. So the student, or I don't know, the person, Nishan Pawar has asked one of the question: is deep mathematics required for do career in data science? For doing career in data science?
Yeah, no. So again, another great question, and the short answer is no. Short answer is no, because lot of these skills right now that we are talking about are using the algorithms or statistical or deep mathematics that was already developed 40 to 45 years ago. So whether it is DRS in cricket or Google driverless car, most of the algorithms are you developed in 1981 or 1978 to 1981 time frame. What you need is to good enough skills to at least appreciate what it does, to do a really good justice to this particular job. So the short answer is no. You don't need to be like that. And the long answer is, if you are interested to develop your own algorithms and do your own, what we call it as, let's say, supervised or unsupervised learning, predictive or prescriptive analytics, if you want to come up with your own stuff, then you need to know that. But overall, as a generic answer, I would say no, you don't need to be like that. But if you have the passion, for example, if somebody asked me in high school or 11th 12th grade, uh, that how do I get into this career and how do I do it, I would strongly recommend to do for undergrad in statistics, so BSc with statistics. Or if you are an engineer and you want to be a really good statistics, I mean the data science guy or girl, and do a career, uh, and if you can afford, another good way to do that is to do masters in statistics. If you can do undergrad in any engineering or commerce or anything, but masters in statistics, that is another great combination to become a solid data scientist. You do BCom, and after that try to do masters in statistics. You do undergrad or a bachelor BA with economics, and then try to do masters in statistics. That's absolutely a great combination to get into data science. Hope that answers that question.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot.
Very good. I know we are about a minute the rating, but if anyone has any comment or question, I'll be more than happy to answer. Okay.
I think, sir, no questions
Okay.
now.
Great.
Okay. I thank you, Kedar, sir, for awesome session. I really enjoyed it, and thank you for everything. Thank you for QA. Thank you for all your great slides and for all the guidance. And I'm very impressed, and I will be in touch with you definitely through maybe LinkedIn.
No,
Thank you, and
thanks to all of you. Thanks to all the organizers. Thanks to Manoj, as Manoj rightly said, he's more like a elder brother in my family than a friend. So I'm impressed by how much community work you guys are doing there. For this is priceless to develop the next generation of intellectuals, hardworking students. Uh, One message, if I would leave all of you, is you don't have to be an Einstein or you don't have to be genius to do a great career in any of this, by the way. Most of the times, people who can work with other people, they typically do better in their careers. So it's less important what degree and from which college you come from. It is important, it is extremely important, but when it comes to doing a good career, I think the most important thing is how well you can work with others in team environment, how much you respect others, and how well you can work as one team to reach a goal. So it's a very broader topic, but I'd want to still touch it because I don't want anybody to feel that doing some data science course or something, I'm going to have that career. That's a good start. Eventually, what is important is to ability to work with others and lead as a group to the finish line. So that's another thought that I'll leave all of you with.
Sir,
Thank you.
I'm just interrupting in between, Sachin sir.
Yeah.
Sorry. I just wanted to inform you, Kedar sir, as well as Pandya sir. Today is actually Jagtik Marathi Din, and you both are there. And actually, we were actually discussing in Marathi before starting of the session. So just wanted to inform you and wish you all that today is Marathi Bhasha Gaurav Din, and it's a Jagtik Marathi Day, and you people are here on this auspicious day. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Sachin
Hare.
Shirke sir, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you, Kedar sir, as well as Manoj Pandya sir, the past chairman, CSI. And I will request Manoj sir to continue his support for this, monthly knowledge sharing session. Thank you, everybody, who has attended this great session. Take care. Bye bye.
Good to see Karode sir. कसे आहेत sir?
Sir, unmute yourself, sir.
Manoj, nice to see you and hear your voice. And uh, one last line I would like to add to what Mr. Kedar said. Me being one of the oldest person in this industry, let me tell you that what you said last line, the world has come round again. Like the fashions come again after 30, 40 years. So the world has come again. When I started my career in IT, there were no formal courses. And at that time, the people only from mathematics and statistics background were taken for the post of programmer. And now you say today that you go for MSc statistics. I'm one of the person who did MSc statistics. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So,
You're the ideal
when I
background.
heard your statement, I felt that fine, I have not done bad. I think I'm the right candidate. One doesn't have to be engineer for being a computer person, but it's
Absolutely.
more of mathematics and statistics. Right. So nice meeting you. And
Nice meeting you.
it was a good session, good slides, everything was fine.
Karode sir is our mentor. He's
Yeah.
the one who took us in the stride, and all what we are on computer field is because of
Wow.
him.
Wow. नमस्कार करोडे सर.
नमस्कार,
आणि
नमस्कार.
खूपच छान वाटलं तुम्हाला भेटून. आणि MSc
Very,
स्टॅटिस्टिक्स
very
बॅकग्राऊंड.
successful IT career with Crompton, and God knows how many companies he worked. He was in US for a couple of years.
दॅट्स ग्रेट. ग्रेट. नाही, छानच वाटलं. आय थिंक या इन्स्टिट्यूटचं भाग्य आहे की तुमचं मार्गदर्शन आहे त्यांना. आय थिंक दिस इज, अँड आय थिंक आय एम सीइंग द next generation is so pumped up already by organizing all these kind of things. I think this is a great initiative. पण छान वाटलं तुमचा एक्सपिरियन्स ऐकून आणि तुमचं the story of MSc statistics. That is really interesting.
Thank you. We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Thank you, Manoj sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. No, thank you. It's our
Okay,
pleasure.
Manoj.
Okay, better, sir.
Sure.
बोलूया.
Sure. Okay, yeah.